2 lakhs ka fees and 34 lakh ka package. This is what FMS offers you. And a lot of students come to me and tell me they don't have great scores in 10, 12 for graduation. Should I leave the MBA dream? And this is one college I take the example of. FMS does not look into your past academics. FMS ko matlab nahi hai if you don't have great score in 10, 12 graduation. It's absolutely fine. What you can do is score great in your CAT exam and get into this college. And for a successful MBA season, you just need to convert one good college. And FMS is that one college which ranks among the top IIMs. And इस वीडियो में मैं आपको FMS related सारी details दे दूंगा, starting with its shortlisting and selection criteria, and then I will also cover what CAT percentile you require to get into this college and what does the entire admission process look like. So किसी भी B school में तीन चीजें important होती है for your admission. First you have to clear the eligibility, then you have to clear the shortlisting process, and then the final interview or the final round. So eligibility is pretty simple. You should have completed your schooling and the required undergraduation degrees, and after that you should have scored at least 50% in your graduation. So eligibility, most of the people will clear their eligibility criteria. After that comes the shortlisting criteria. A lot of colleges give preference to past academics, work experience and stuff as well. However, in FMS the criteria for shortlisting is very simple. That is, it gives weightage to the different sections of the CAT exam. Different weightage to different sections. So 40% weightage is given to verbal ability section, 30% weightage is given to DILR section, and another 30% weightage is given to the quant section. So based on these weights, your final score is calculated based on the CAT scores that you have got in different sections, and once that is over, an additional 5 points is given to a female candidates. For gender diversity, additional 5 points is added on top of whatever has been your CAT score depending on these weightages. So once that happens, then a final merit list is produced where people are called for the interview, that is for the final selection round. And for the final selection criteria, first I will tell you the weightages and then I will explain the rationale behind each of them as well. So 50% is on your CAT score for the final round. After that, 10% on your 10th score, 10% on 12th score, then 10% on discussion over your statement of purpose, then another 5% on your extempore, and 15% on your personal interview. But I just said that FMS does not care much about past academics. Then why 10% is allocated to 10th score and 10% is allocated to 12th score as well? 20% is allocated to 10th and 12th score. So it might be a lot, but the idea is the way that FMS allocates marks to 10th and 12th is very different from other B schools. You don't need 90%, 95% for FMS. What you need is if you score more than 75% in your 10th and 12th, you get full 10 points, no questions asked. This is very different from the other B schools which need 90, 95. For Indore, even 90% marks in your boards would look less. So that's why for FMS it's very simple. More than 75, you score full 10 points. If you have a percentage between 60 to 75%, then your marks will be 5 out of 10, or 5% marks will be allocated to you, which means even if it is between 60 to 75, still you have got a great chance. Even if both your 10th and 12th marks were between 60 to 75, you still score 10 out of 20 and you have a chance to cover it up through the other sections, through the other weightages in either in your CAT score or your personal interview and the other stuff. So that's why even if you have scored more than 60, that's a good percentage for FMS. If you have scored more than 75, it's a great percentage to have for FMS. So on the day of the interview, your SOP discussion will also happen. That is while you're filling the admission form. I will tell you about that. You have to fill an SOP, and on that particular day, on the day of the interview, a discussion will happen around what you have written on your SOP. So that will have some weightage, that is 10%. Then extempore, you will be given a particular topic. You will be asked to speak for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever that is. That has a 5% weightage, and your personal interview has 15% weightage, which is still less considered if you consider other colleges, which almost has 40-50% weightage on your personal interview. Here 50% allocation even in the final round is on CAT score, which is very unlike the other colleges. So that's why for FMS, if you can score well in your CAT exam, that is it. That is all that they are looking for. And before I go to the other details of FMS and the detailed application and admission process, I hope you have understood that even if you do not have great academics, you can cover up for it through a strong CAT percentile for FMS. And let me tell you here about the partners of this video who can help you in this journey and affordable CAT coaching, and that is MBA Wala. And if you have seen their last year results, now that the B school results are also out, many of their students have converted IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta type of colleges. More than 80 students have converted different IIMs from MBA Wala. And अगर आपको CAT के लिए बिल्कुल बेसिक से प्रिपेयर करना है, आप चूज कर सकते हो MBA Ignite 2025, जिसमें आपको मिलेगा 300 hours of live and recorded classes, 20 plus mock tests, 12,000 plus daily practice problems, and infinite access to practice problems. But in addition to these, if you also want more, you can consider the MBA Pro Batch 2025, जिसमें आपको मिलेगा access to all upcoming CAT 2025 batches, PW Special Khazana, which has the best lectures, tips and tricks, and access to one past test series, along with 1:1 mentorship sessions. And here you will be learning from veteran faculties like Vikrant sir, Rahul sir, who have trained lakhs of CAT aspirants. So if you want to explore this, I'll put the link in the description as well as in the pinned comment. You can check it out from there. And if you are thinking about purchasing the course, you can also use my coupon code ANA500, which will give you an additional 500 rupees discount on these batches. And now coming to the other details of FMS, there are just 251 seats in FMS, and that's why it's so difficult to get in. And out of that, just 101 is for the unreserved or the open category or the general category that we call. And after that, if you see for the other categories as well, around 69 seats are for the OBC category, then 37 for SC category, 19 for ST category, and 25 seats for EWS, that is economically weaker section group. Fees, as I told, is about 58,000 per semester, amounts to slightly more than 2 lakhs in the 2 years that you will be spending here. But yes, one drawback of FMS definitely is the campus environment that you have. It is not at par with the campuses of any of the IIMs or say ISB or the other colleges. For campus life, yes, there will be a little bit of compromise that you need to do in terms of campus life, and that is something as a B school student, as someone who is pursuing education probably for the final time, probably after MBA you would not be going into any other educational institution. So in that way, yes, a campus life can hurt you a little if you don't get the best campus life, but still, it's still that Delhi University area where you would be residing in, and it kind of will give you that kind of a student vibe. Yes, the kind of environment that you have probably in the IIMs, everyone is within the same campus, in the same dorms and stuff, probably that might be missing in FMS. But yes, if you have got a call from FMS, certainly you do not want to leave that out. But it is very difficult to get a call from FMS. Your CAT percentile, let me talk about the CAT percentile you need as a general category student to get a call from FMS. If you're a male general category student, then probably the percentile required would be above of 99.4 percentile in the CAT exam. Above 99.4 kind of becomes a safe score. Yes, above 99.5 if you have, then it starts getting safer as well, because a lot of component depends on your CAT score. And if you're a female general category student, then probably the percentile you would require would be above of 99. So anything above 99 percentile will make you eligible for FMS, or will get you a shortlist for the final interview for FMS. And next, talking about the application process and the admission process, and listen to this very, very carefully. Just getting above 99 percentile in CAT, appearing for the CAT exam, does not guarantee a seat or does not guarantee your interview call from FMS. You need to fill a separate application form for FMS, otherwise your particular CAT percentile will be absolutely null and void. Many of the IIMs do not have any separate application process. You just fill the CAT application form and that is it for them. But for FMS, there is a separate application form that you need to fill. The form can be out before the CAT exam as well, or it can be out after the CAT exam as well. You need to be careful about that. If you are serious about CAT, if you are serious about getting into a college like FMS, then you have to take note of these things. You have to be careful and fill the application form before the deadline. Obviously, on my channel, whenever the application form is out, I will notify you, and I will also give you a detailed process on how to fill that application form. So you need not worry. If you are subscribing to the channel, if you're getting regular updates, then obviously I will definitely notify you whenever the application form is out along with the deadline. And on the application form as well, you need to fill it perfectly. Obviously, your 10 score, 12 score, graduation score, your personal details and everything should be filled perfectly. At the same time, there might be certain questions as well. There will be your SOP as well, your statement of purpose, on which, as I said before, you will be questioned during the interview. So you need to make sure that whatever you write on the SOP makes sense and you can defend that during the interview. And on the day of the interview, the process will be fairly simple. Previously, we used to have GDs in FMS as well. So I don't know if next year the GDs can be introduced again or not. But the idea is, for now at least, you have to go to the interview room and your discussion on SOP will start. After that, your interview might start, or you might be asked to give a small talk, that is your extempore, for 2-3 minutes, or it can happen between the interview as well, during the interview itself. So all of these three components, that is your SOP discussion, your extempore marks and your personal interview marks, will be given together by the same panel. Usually there are 3 people on the panel, on your interview panel, and they will give you all the marks for these 3 components. So this was about the FMS selection process. Similar videos I've made for other colleges as well. well. Most recently, I made about IIM Ahmedabad. IIM Ahmedabad has a fairly complex process. It's not as simple as that you see for FMS. Okay, for IIM Ahmedabad, it is very, very, very complex, and that's why you see candidates who have got admission into IIM Ahmedabad even at 90 percentile. I'm talking about general category students got admission into IIM Ahmedabad at 90 percentile. It's because of the fairly complex selection process, the different categories that they have. If you want to understand more about IIM Ahmedabad selection process as well, you can see that video on the screen. And अगर आप interested हो, मैं आपसे वहाँ मिलता हूँ.